Yo, what's going on everybody? It's me Luke91 here and welcome back to another video of Madden Mobile 20. As today I'm going to be trying to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to try and show you guys my team, try to go into an Overdrive match for the last time, and then show you guys my legacy team before Madden Mobile 21 gets updated to Madden Mobile 21, because as you can see it says go all out in Madden NFL 21 Mobile today. So I've already pre-registered. It'll automatically download when it's ready, so that's why I'm trying to do all these 3 things in just one video, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. But let's go ahead and get started. So my team, here's what the team will probably look like going into Madden Mobile 21 becoming my legacy team. So as you can see here at the quarterback position, we now have 105 overall Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, I was going to probably upgrade him to 105 and make him my future or long-term quarterback. So here he is, 99 everything, so he will be our quarterback going in to Madden Mobile 21 for our legacy team. At halfback position, I got this Madden Futures 105 overall Nick Chubb, as he now takes starter away from Ezekiel Elliott, as Zeke will be in the flex position now. Chubb, 99 everything. Obviously, all the 105 overall players have 99 stats. In my wide receiver positions, I've made 2 changes. Here I have 105 overall Julio Jones from the King of the Board promo. I did the math when seeing if I could get Jalen Ramsey to then get Julio Jones. I then thought, okay, I have enough things to get him, so I went ahead and got Jalen Ramsey, and now I have Julio Jones, and you guys will see Jalen Ramsey on the defense in a little bit. So we got Julio Jones now, 99 everything as well. Then over to my secondary wide receiver spot, we got 100 overall DK Metcalf from the Madden Quest promo. As you can see, he's got 98 speed, one of the reasons I got him. There's his stats as well. And then we still got Calvin Johnson, Evan Ingram, and then to my offensive line, only made 1 change here, and that is we now have 105 overall Quentin Nelson from the Madden Futures promo, and again, he has 99 everything. So now moving on over to my defense, only 1 change here, I believe, and that is like I said, got Jalen Ramsey. Oh, and there's actually a second change I just realized. So here he is, Jalen Ramsey from the King of the Board promo. Was able to get him, and then that got me that 105 Julio Jones. Actually, there's 2 changes here. There's Jalen Ramsey. At my safety spot, I have this 100 overall Brian Dawkins from the Madden Quest promo. There's a look at his stats. And then since I got Metcalf and Dawkins, that allowed me to unlock this 105 overall defensive end Joey Bosa from the Madden Quest promo, as he is the master player from the Madden Quest promo. So we now have him at defensive end, and that's all the changes on defense. And over to special teams, only 1 change here, and that is we got this 100 overall human joystick Dante Hall from the Gridiron promo. Obviously this is his alter ego edition card if we flip it over, alter ego edition. So he will be our cake returner going in, as now he will take over Devin Hester's spot. I would have liked to keep Devin Hester, but since Hall has more power, I went ahead and put him in. So there is all my players, and that is probably how my team will look as it will go into Madden Mobile 21 and become my legacy team. So now we are done with that. Now let me go ahead and head into an Overdrive match, as I want to test out how DK Metcalf and Julio Jones and obviously Nick Chubb do. So let's go ahead and get into that. Alright, so here we go. I also changed my captain from Mahomes to Kittle, because I want to also test out how my 105 overall Mahomes will do. So you can see this guy doesn't have too good of a team. He has a 96 overall team, so obviously that gives us 2,000 more power at the very least. So let's go ahead and throw it over to called him C.J. Henderson or Calvin Johnson. That is Calvin Johnson there, as he will get in for the first touchdown. Now let's go for 4 verts here, and then I think Julio is all the way over to the right there. Does he have that man beat? Not able to get it away in time, as that will be knocked away for an incomplete pass there. Let's try and go with it again this time. Complete a pass for 4 yards. Well, I think I will be able to do that. Julio Jones will come down with that in the end zone for the second touchdown. Oh no, wait, we don't have Mahomes, so it's 120 yards that we have to achieve here. Let's go with mesh switch here, and I will be looking for maybe Calvin Johnson. Throw it over to X, and that is Julio Jones again, as he will get down to the 20, picking us up a first down. Let's go ahead and hand the rock off to Chubb, see what he can do. Gonna let the defense settle there. Running it with Chubb now, and he had a little bit of an open lane there, as he will pick up some yards there. 7 yards on the play, now bringing up second and free. He also has a rush tax on us. He's actually keeping up with me pretty well. Throw it over to Julio Jones again, and he will be short of the end zone, as it'll now be first and goal. Go with fullback dive, see if Zeke can get in there, and he will, so we will get a touchdown with Ezekiel Elliott there. Now let's go with close PA sale and see if we can find somebody open here. Gonna lob it deep to Julio, and he will come down with that, and we'll get into the end zone, as we have now got our captain bonus of 120 passing yards. Let's go with 4 verticals again. Where is Metcalf? Metcalf's all the way over there to the left. Throw it up to him, and he will come down with that at the 15. I almost want to scramble with Mahomes a little bit. Let's go with corner cross here and see if we can scramble with Mahomes at all. Scrambling with Mahomes, and look at that speed, that 99 speed, as he will get down to the 5, picking us up a first and goal. Go ahead and put a pressure on him, or at least a tax or something. Throw it over to B, and that is Julio Jones, getting close to that end zone, but not quite. He'll be stopped around the 1. Gonna go with the same play again. Hopefully he can come down with it. Oh, don't know why I threw it, but George Kittle will come down with that pass instead, so we'll get some more points here. We'll go with 4 verts again and see if there is somebody that's definitely open. Throw it up to Julio, and that will be knocked down by the defender. Now he wants us to complete a short pass for 8 yards, so I'm going to go with X post here and maybe look for somebody open here. That might be a risky pass. It was. That'll be knocked down. But I think we should still come away with the dub there, which I believe we will, waiting for the opponent. I'll give it to my opponent. He actually kept up with me pretty good, even though he did have a lower overall team game stats. Jones with 426, his Melvin Gordon with 168, Calvin Johnson with 88 points, and then he has Michael Thomas with 85, and then Mahomes 669, and then he has Lamar Jackson with 295. So there we go. We will go ahead and continue. Sorry if I got a little bit close to the mic there. I need to stay in one position so that way I don't vary the audio levels. So anyways, there we go. So we got the overdrive match done. Jones and Metcalf did their thing for the most part. So now, like I said, I also want to show you guys my legacy team. And I like looking at my legacy team, just seeing how the card art was back in Overdrive, and just seeing the cards just from Overdrive in general and the different promos, and just taking a look at the team one last time before obviously it gets sort of erased and I'll never be able to see it again, even though I did make videos over my team on Madden Overdrive. But still, just want to take one last look at it, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here we are at the legacy team. As you can see, I had 3,160 team power with a 106 offense, a 105 defense, and a 104 special teams. And the highest overall in Madden Overdrive was a 110 overall, and that's also what the Onyx tier was. Obviously this year, the Onyx tier starts at 100, and then the highest overall you can get is obviously the 105 overall. So let's take a look at my quarterback, and this is 105 overall Dak Prescott from the video store. And as you can see, the card had the power down there near the bottom right of the card, along with, I guess, the tier, or yeah, I guess like diamond tier 3 or something. And obviously there's all his stats to the right. And then if we flip the card over, on a crucial 4th and 15, Dak completed an amazing on-the-run strike to Beasley in the back of the end zone to defeat the Giants 36-35. So obviously, this came from the video store, which was not in this year's Madden, and basically this was like special moments from obviously last year, and that was one of them, along with like a bunch of other guys as well. So now going down to my halfbacks, here we have 102 overall Aaron Jones from the Versus promo. This was from the second version of the Versus promo, where it was Rising Stars versus Veterans, and obviously he was one of the Rising Stars. And if you flip over the card, just says Rising Stars versus Master Edition, so no special description there. Then moving on over to the flex position, here we have Saquon Barkley from the Versus promo V2, I guess, and he comes from the, oh no wait, actually he was from the first. versus. I thought that was a veterans where it said versus, but it's not. And then he does have NFC versus Master Edition. So the first versus was NFC versus AFC, and then the second one was Rising Stars versus Veterans. So there is Barkley. Then moving on over to my wide receivers, here we got 110 overall Juju Smith-Schuster, as he comes from the Rising Stars side of the versus promo. If we flip over his card, Rising Stars versus Onyx Master Edition, as you can see, all his stats are 99 overall, just like the 105s in this year's Madden Mobile 20 are. Then moving on over to my second wide receiver spot, here we got 4th of July 110 overall DeAndre Hopkins. As you can see, 4th of July Master Edition, so not too fancy of a description there. And then moving down to the flex position, here we have 102 overall Deshaun Jackson, as he comes from the Movers promo, as he was moving from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Philadelphia Eagles. In his description, after 2 seasons with the Bucs, Jackson returns to the Philadelphia Eagles, where he spent the first 6 years of his career. So those are my wide receivers. And then moving over to my tight end spot, here we got 103 overall Eric Ebron from the first versus promo, as he comes from the AFC side. So you can see, flipping over the card, AFC versus Master Edition. Moving on down to my offensive line, so my 2 offensive tackles, I have here 104 overall Taylor Moton from the Rising Stars side of the versus promo. And then there is his description, Rising Stars versus Master Edition. And then going over here to the second offensive tackle spot, we got 102 overall Morgan Moses from the Powerline promo. And as you can see, some of the card art is still similar to what we have in this year's Madden Mobile 20, so sort of like the Powerline and sort of like the Movers in a way. But anyways, there's his card, Powerline Edition. Moving on over to my offensive guards, here we have a 110 overall Brandon Brooks from the Bosses promo, and I'm surprised that they didn't have the Bosses promo this year, because I think they've done it in at least every other Madden, although I didn't really play 15 and 16 that much, but I'm pretty sure they had, you know, Bosses in like 17 and 18 and last year. So I'm surprised that they didn't do any Bosses for this year. But anyways, we got him. And then in my second offensive guard spot, I got this 101 overall Joel Bitonio from the I believe it was the Gridiron promo. I'm not exactly sure. This wasn't his best version, because it's sort of like how it was in this year's Gridiron, to where you get like a 98 overall card, and then you can get it to a 99, and then you can get it to 100. I think this was like at a 97 or a 98, and I think the best version was maybe 99, so not the best version. And then going over to my center spot, sort of a similar story here with Cody Whitehair. Wasn't the best version, but he comes from the same promo that Joel Bitonio did, so I forget what it's called. I guess I could maybe look back, or maybe put the title of the video so that way you guys can see. But anyways, there is the offense. Moving on over to the defense, we'll start with my linebackers, and here starting out we have 110 overall Levante David, again from the Bosses promo, and I forgot to show you guys their description. Let me go back to the offense real quickly. So for Brandon Brooks, we have Brooks only allowed 1 sack and was one of the top rated interior pass protectors in 2018. He was only flagged 3 times all season, and I don't think those guys really have any special descriptions. Oh no, they do. Pro Bowler Cody Whitehair has started every game for the Chicago Bears since getting drafted in 2016. And then for Joel Bitonio, his description, Bitonio only allowed 1 sack and was one of the top-rated interior pass protectors in 2018. He wasn't flagged for holding all season, so he sort of ones up Brandon Brooks there. Then going over to defense, again back to Levante David. His description, David recorded 120 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries in 14 games for the Buccaneers. And now moving on over to my middle linebacker slot here, we got 103 overall Matt Bosher from the Powerline promo. I think the reason he got this card is because when they were playing the Panthers last season, when Bosher punted the ball, and obviously when the returner was making his return, Bosher made a huge hit on him, which is obviously rare from punters and kickers, so I think that's why he got this card, and not too of a special description there. Moving on to my 3-4 slot here, 103 overall Leighton Vander Esch from the Team of the Year promo. His description, Team of the Year community pick, Vander Esch put together an amazing rookie season, finishing 3rd in the NFL in total tackles 140 and 2nd in solo tackles 102. And then in my final linebacker spot, here I got 105 overall D Ford from the Movers promo as he moved to the Chiefs to the 49ers. And flipping over his card, Pro Bowler D Ford was traded by the Chiefs to the 49ers for a 2020 second round draft pick after 5 seasons. So there's my linebacker core. Moving on down to my defensive line, starting with my 2 defensive ends. As you can see here, I got 110 overall DeMarcus Lawrence from the Bosses promo. In his description, Lawrence was selected to his 2nd straight Pro Bowl after recording 64 total tackles, a career high 10.5 sacks, and an interception. And then moving on down to my 2nd defensive end position, here we have 103 overall Keem Hicks as he comes from the veteran side of the Versus promo V2, and flipping over his card, sort of the same description as the rest of them. Now moving on to my defensive tackle spot, as you can see here, I got 110 overall Damon Harrison Sr. from the Bosses promo. And his description, due to the timing of his trade from the Giants, Harrison played in 17 regular season games during the 2018 season, the first defensive lineman to accomplish this feat. And on to the 4 free slot, here we got 102 overall Aaron Donald from the Campus Heroes promo. And his description, Donald dominated for Pitt in his 4 years there, leaving behind a legacy of 181 total tackles, 29.3 sacks, and 6 forced fumbles. So there's my defensive line. And then moving on to my secondary, starting with the safeties. In the first spot, we have 103 overall Harrison Smith coming from the veteran side of the Versus promo V2. And obviously, same description just like the rest of the Versus players. Then moving on to my second safety spot, here we got 103 overall Ronnie Lott. And he actually came from the Mother's Day promo, so a little quick story on him. Now, it's sort of like with the lockers, to where they put like a whole grid of lockers and you can play a blitz event to get keys and you can go unlock them and you get certain rewards. And I just opened one day, and I think it was on Mother's Day, and I opened it and I got this card. I'm saying, like, this isn't just a card that, you know, EA is giving everybody. And I looked and I'm like, I don't think anybody else has this on their team, so I think this was a rare pull for me. But anyways, his card description, Ronnie Lott finished his USC career with a legacy of 14 interceptions and 2 pick sixes. So I think maybe this had to do in tow with the Campus Heroes promo as well, maybe. Just a hunch, I can't exactly remember. Now moving on to my cornerbacks. In the first slot here, we got 103 overall Denzel Ward coming from the Rising Stars side of the Versus promo. And then coming down here, we have 110 overall Jalen Ramsey from the Bosses promo. And then flipping over to his description, Ramsey was part of the Jaguars defense that was top 5 in points allowed, 316 yards allowed, 4,983, and passing yards allowed, 3,113. So there are my 2 cornerbacks. And then coming down to the nickel position here, we got 103 overall Stephon Gilmore from the Power Lines promo, and no description there. And then coming down to my dime position, here we have 103 overall Derwin James from the Versus promo as he comes from the AFC side. And I think the reason that these guys were so highly rated, or their overalls were boosted, the Versus cards, they had the ability to where they gave every card on your team +1 overall. So that's why, like, I think Van Der Esch was like 98 overall. He was boosted up to 103 overall because that's how many cards I have on this team that give +1 overall. So just figured I mention that real quickly. And then moving on to special teams, starting with my kicker, we have 103 overall Brett Maher from the Team of the Year promo, as obviously he's no longer on the team as he got replaced by Cobra Kai, and then Cobra Kai then got replaced by Greg Zuerlein. But flipping over to his description, rookie Brett Maher bailed out the Cowboys several times in the 2018 season by making 6 field goals of 50+ yards and accumulating 119 total points with his leg. Yeah, I think he was only good at making 50+ yarders, and then when it came to anything that was like 40+ and 30+, he would always miss it. So then coming over here to the kick returner spot, we then have 102 overall Cordero Patterson as he was moving from the Patriots to the Chicago Bears. Flipping over his description, after only 1 season with the Patriots, Patterson signed a 2-year contract with the Chicago Bears. Then moving on over to my punter position here, got 110 overall Brenton Colquitt from the 4th of July promo. And the reason that I got a punter instead of maybe a different position is because I had the Chiefs punter, I forget what his name was, but it came from the Metal Masters promo, and basically there was like a bronze, a gold, in a silver, and basically he was silver, and although he was at 99 overall, I did sort of want a diamond punter since every other card on my team was diamond or higher. So I went ahead and got this Colquitt, so that's why I have a Onyx tier punter. Although it doesn't really make sense because obviously here, as you can see, I have this gold card 102 overall Cyrus Jones, and he actually comes from April Fool's sort of joke that they did in Overdrive, and it was, I believe, Fool's Gold. So if I flip over the description here, Cyrus Jones tied 7 other players for rank 1 of most punt return TDs in 2018, which was 1. But as you can see, he is gold, and that's because obviously it sort of tied into April Fool's Gold, so that's why it was gold. But anyways, there is my legacy team as I take one last look at it before it will go away, even though obviously I can go back into my profile here and then go down to my trophy room and then go over to legacy stats. Obviously I can take a look at my seasons, as you can see, and I can take a look at obviously my offense, defense, and special teams, but obviously I can't click there and see obviously my old card. So that's why I sort of like that's why I like doing this video, to where I can go back and at least look at my team one last time before obviously it gets replaced. And now this team that I currently have will be my legacy team for Madden Mobile 21. So anyways guys, there you have it. Hopefully I didn't waste too much of your time. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I apologize. I just wanted to get this all done in one video instead of having to do it separate times. So anyways, that will do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will maybe see you in Madden Mobile 21. See you in the next one. Peace.